We got a leaking catch can here, aftermarket, causing the DPF issues. Okay, so DPF is blocked, so we're gonna change that. Just finished putting up a new catch can there. By the way, this is a Volkswagen Amarok 2012. We got engine light, DPF light, glow clock light, everything on there. That's a fault code there. Soot bank 1 filter restricted and coolant pump 2 open circuit. I don't know if this is gonna restrict us from doing a regeneration, but we'll see. Alright, we got about 60 grams of soot. That's calculated, mass measured 6.45 grams. We got 0.2 psi pressure on our differential filter pressure there. At 2,500 revs, 0.6, 0.7, let's say. This is on a limphome mode, so you want to let me rev good. I like to usually check a little bit higher revs than 2,500, but that's a good enough reference point there. On the driver's side there, I just took off the pipe that goes to the pressure sensor, the one before the DPF. We're just gonna feed some chemical in and see how this one work. I've been trying a few different chemicals. Let's see how well this one work for DPF cleaning. Just currently sitting here revving 2,500 RPM. We can watch the DPF pressure from 65 HPA going down. You can see we can change that to PSI if you like, so you can see it's going from 0.9, that's where it started, it's coming down to 0.6. It's looking good. We'll watch that. We also watch the temperature for the DPF exhaust. So you got temperature 3, temperature 2, temperature 4, temperature 1. I think temperature 2 is just doesn't exist in this car. It's just the scan tool fault. It's giving you it anyway. But as you can see, we got 200 degrees Celsius on exhaust temperature 1. Sometimes this temperature orientation could be wrong at the wrong places, so you got to be careful with that. But the temperatures are rising. Our soot is still sitting at 60 and 6.66. Let's see if that changes with the pressures coming down. It's at 37 now. This pressure's come down pretty good. At 2,500 RPM we got about it came down to about 30 and it went up a little bit, but at idle we got 10 millibar, which is good. Temperatures staying good. Temperatures are staying good. My calculated soot hasn't changed, but that one definitely came down from 6 point something, 7 something to 4. It went up a little bit as I was idling there. So we're gonna go take it for a drive and see what it does. I don't think this will let me clear the fault because we got that 60. That I think that's the max. So I don't think it will let me clear the fault, but we'll try because I don't think it's gonna let me drive it in limphome mode. I'm still driving on limphome mode, but my pressure, differential pressure, looks good. On the highway doing 100 kilometers an hour, it's only sitting at just under 1 psi. Pressure's looking good, and also my soot mass measured, this number is actually coming down. Temperatures are rising. Obviously it's doing a natural burn as you drive, so it's looking good. So at this point we can safely do a reset of the DPF, so we'll bring all these numbers down so we can actually drive this car properly. Alright, I've just done the resetting, so we are now calculated value is 0. We should be able to clear these fault codes and the car should be out of limphome mode now. We still got the mass measured value at 10, so we'll drive and see what happens to to that value there. Pressures, everything's looking good still. This car would not come out of limphome mode, so I had to do some more diagnosis. It had that coolant pump B circuit fault. That's why the glow plug was flashing and then it wouldn't come out of the limphome mode. So we got a pump there. That's the auxiliary pump for the heater. So this is nothing to do with that. So the pump that we are looking at, it's down there. Hopefully you can see that down there with a couple of hoses going into there. It's got a plug there. So luckily that plug was just loose for some reason. Okay, so I just plugged it back on and it's all good now. The light's gone, fault codes are gone now. Unfortunately I couldn't test drive it very far because this car started overheating, so it does have an overheating issue too. So I couldn't do a natural regen to check how my pressures and soot level and everything, so I couldn't drive very far. But I'm slowly doing a regen here with my scan tool. I'm keeping an eye on the temperature light. This one doesn't have a gauge, so it makes it hard whether the temperature is rising or not, but I'm just keeping an eye on that light. So obviously being very cautious here. So I'm halfway there with the regeneration, but yeah, I think this is it for it. I can't really show you the end result on the drive, but looks like this is gonna be the fix. Just to add to my last comment, if the temperature gets too high during the DPF regeneration like this, most car issue will turn the regeneration off and give you that fault regarding some temperature sensor, I would say. But at least they will try to shut this off generation if the temperature is getting too high. Alright, final result. This tend to overheat sometimes and sometimes it's fine, so something's definitely going on in the cooling system. I was thinking maybe the radiator maybe blocked, a little bit blocked, maybe that pump is not functioning sometimes. I don't know, something's going on, but that's a separate diagnosis. But after a bit of a test driving, I was very carefully watching the temperature obviously of the engine. After the test driving, we got 0 soot, measured 0, and mass calculated it went up a little bit after the test driving. The pressure at idle is sitting at 4 HPA, and when I rev it 2.5, it's about 16-17 HPA. Alright, just to give you a reference on PSI, so 0.04 PSI at idle, 2.5, 0.3. So the pressures, everything looking healthy. My soot level from 0 hasn't gone up after a bit of a maybe 10-15 kilometers of driving, so it looks like it's a good numbers there, so I'm happy with that. Thank you so much for watching.